Apeel is all over the news. What is it? What does it do to your fruits and vegetables? Coming up, answers to these questions and more as I interview Michelle Sisson at the Produce Marketing Association convention in Anaheim, California, all about Apeel.
Fruits and vegetables, anytime.
Hey folks, Dan the Produce Man here. We are with Michelle Sisson from Apeel. Now, what is Apeel, you may ask? Well, we're going to find out right now from Michelle. What is Apeel?
So Apeel is a family of plant-derived material solutions for fresh produce, and we extend the shelf life of fresh produce 2 to 3 times by adding a thin layer of plant-derived material on the outside. So when we talk about Apeel, we're actually talking about a family of different solutions that we use on different produce categories. And we started with avocados and expanded rapidly into limes, asparagus, and other categories like organic apples. And we just announced that we're going to be on cucumbers very soon.
I'm a cucumber.
In the U.S. So lots of things coming, but the concept with Apeel is to extend the shelf life by adding a little bit of plant material on the outside to keep water in and air outside.
So Apeel, appropriately named, is like a second peel.
It's like a second peel, exactly.
Okay.
It's like a little extra peel.
And so how much longer of a shelf life would we find on, say, your standard avocado or asparagus?
So it depends on a lot of factors, but on average for avocados, we see 50% longer shelf life.
Wow.
And for asparagus, up to 2 times as long for shelf life. So that's really relevant because for asparagus, about 90% of it's flown in from Peru to the United States. And so when you're able to extend the shelf life by up to 2 times, you can actually it enables the possibility to change the shipping distribution method. So you can actually go from air to sea freight as well. And there's plenty of other benefits too. For avocados, by maintaining time, by adding more time, you give everybody in the supply chain more options. You can change the distribution for asparagus of air to sea freight, but for avocados, you can actually extend the shelf life for the consumer as well, and really make sure that they get twice the ripe time, which is really amazing for them.
Yeah,
it's ultimately all about the consumer experience, and what we're able to do is provide a lot more, a better experience, we believe, for consumers over time by making sure they don't get home and their stuff ripens all of a sudden really fast and they can't eat it.
When Michelle mentioned that it is plant-derived, I asked her, what plants? How's it made? When was it discovered? Who discovered it? How is it made? It's a lot of questions, but she was right on top of it.
What was it made of is what you're asking. So
yes,
we basically we look to nature for inspiration. We kind of say, what did nature already do? And everything that grew above water actually has a layer of protective material in this cuticular layer. So we looked at that and basically used the same concept of a plant-derived, a layer of lipids or glycerolipids. And what we do, and it can actually be made from any source material. There's many different types of source material we could use. We have a whole extraction sciences team that focuses on finding and discovering the best source materials. But long story short, what we're really adding is the same structure, the same molecule, regardless of what plant it came from, the same molecule on the outside that actually arranges itself so it keeps water in and air out. So it's really something that we're really proud of, the fact that we can utilize nature to protect nature. That's something that we're really inspired by.
Lots of changes and new technology. The produce industry is no exception. I asked Michelle, whose concept was this? Where did this idea come from, and who put it all together?
Our founder is named James Rogers. He was on a car ride when he was doing his PhD work in California and listening to a podcast on kind of global hunger. And he realized that, his background was as a material scientist. He realized that a lot of food is actually lost before it before it can be consumed because it spoils too fast. And nobody had really thought about material science as a discipline in fresh produce industry to apply to extend the shelf life of produce. So he was working on solar paint at the time. But as a material scientist, you're able to pull from a totally different, set of tools and think about surfaces. And really, the thing that happens as soon as you pick a piece of produce, it's respiring. It loses water. And so, if you can find a way to slow down that rate of water loss, then you're actually going to extend the shelf life without inventing a new molecule or new synthetic chemical. So it's really a nice way to maintain quality without, really doing anything outside of what nature already does.
And how is Apeel made?
We manufacture it in our facility in Goleta, California. So we have. I'm on the marketing team, but so that you'd have to ask our actual extraction people. But we produce it all on site, and then we ship it out into packing houses in a powder form. And then at that facility, when we install in a facility, we actually send out our own team we hire people to work and maintain the equipment. So we're actually providing a service of ensuring produce quality all the time at that packing house. It's not like we drop off or ship a powder. We're actually bringing in equipment to make sure that it's applied perfectly every single time. It's been really phenomenal so far.
And is it organic plant material? What is it?
We have products for both conventional and organic produce.
Wonderful.
So we have a product that's OMRI listed for the growers of organic produce, and then we have products for conventional as well. And so it's just really, that's more of a regulatory question, but we are able to serve the whole industry in that way. Yeah.
Okay, because I can hear the questions coming now from folks. Are any fruit, conventional fruit or vegetables that may have pesticide residue on it, does this appeal go over that? Do they wash it first and then apply the appeal?
Yeah, so it has no impact on what's already there. I mean, obviously from a food safety perspective, we work with the best in class suppliers, and it's really important to us. We take food safety very seriously, and so we're working with the best in class suppliers who are already doing top of the line or exceeding what is required of them from a food safety perspective. And then for pesticide residue, it's more just a lot of shoppers are not super aware that no matter what they do, there is a tolerable amount of pesticide residue. You can grow your own produce if you want to completely have no pesticide residue at all on anything. But long story short is we have no impact on the presence of any particular item that was put on there before, but we work with the best in class suppliers to make sure that we're offering the best to consumers. Yeah.
So imagine that, an avocado lasting in your refrigerator or on your counter twice as long without packaging. This appeal is very appealing.
We're excited to be here and really appreciate you stopping by, and we're excited to offer the industry a lot more to come. So it's been fun, and we're looking forward to doing a lot more.
Thank you, Michelle. It's $1 million review.
Thank
you got
you.
$1 million bill. Look at that.
Now I can go on vacation, so this is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.